Hello, Miss Marilyn. Oh, how was your new bicycle? Are you huffing and puffing? Oh, good. I'm very happy. I think it's just remember to do it every day if you can. I'm going to be doing a well, do some huffing and puffing. You need to. It's not just. I mean, you can do both, but I think you need to. I mean, it's good to huff and puff. Check T check. Okay, JP, do join us. Ms. Marilyn, JP and I are going to talk briefly or lengthfully about pencil sharpeners and pencils. So it'll just be a one-on-one, but you can certainly chat as you're doing. So JP, hit that little link and you'll be here. I know you have pencils, but this is a specific thing that he had posted on Instagram that made me think that he and I need to talk about this briefly. And then we can, when we're done, we can maybe add more people. But this is one of those specific ones. Do you see the link, JP? You can certainly be here. It's just I'm not going to be. It's just a one-on-one with JP Murphy. Should he press the button? It's hardly adult. Okay, good. So you may, if you like, have the camera aiming down, but if you want to show us what you look like, you can have it aiming forward, and then we can aim it down. What I'm doing here is was drawing this image, which will go with some other images that will be part of a sign I'm making for the Urban Sketchers show. And if I can find it, all my other drawings are. Here's a T. Here's an E. So these are going to be hung on the wall, sort of higgledy-piggledy, tape, thumbtack to the wall. And you'll see all of the letters will be in red. So you should be able to see from across the room the words Urban Sketchers. And so this is one of the places we visited was the Waterworks Museum, which is this big pumping station in Chestnut Hill. And so this is clearly the R. I don't know if it came out right or not, because I'm not entirely positive what you're trying to to say. But as you know, Ms. Marilyn, almost anything that you could possibly say, you can say here on my channel. So where is Mr. Murphy here? JP. One of the things that JP, I will just show you what JP posted that inspired this conversation, is he posted this image on Instagram. And I'm not showing you his name because he may not want his name to be seen, but he said, one of the few areas I don't use a fountain pen while reading. Physical books are meant with a wooden pencil and highlighters. A favorite part of the process is sharpening the pencil. And here you are.
Indeed. Thanks for having me on.
Well, thank you for finding out what buttons to press correctly. So
yeah, well, it turns out I had to install Chrome. That helps.
Oh no. Oh, okay.
It's all good.
So I just showed the text that inspired this conversation from your Instagram posting, and it made me think, okay, I got to talk to you. So is there, are you going to turn the camera down, or are you going to, okay, so
Yep.
You're using Blackwing pencils, I see.
I am. I use Blackwing pencils for most writing.
Okay.
And then I have one like clay core rainbow pencil I use for grading.
And that writes in all different colors?
Yeah, it's let's see if I can get this over.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I know the pencils. Sure. So while you're giving them the C-, it'll at least look pretty.
Bring a little joy to someone's disappointment.
Yeah. I'm sure that none of your students, all your students, are A students.
We stretch them. We stretch their ability. Oh, I love the rainbow pencil too. Thanks for the shout out.
I was trying to find them today because I had an idea that I wanted to do a drawing with them. I tried to do a drawing with them, but because I never know what color is coming out of it, it's sort of hard to do. But I thought maybe there'd be some fun that I can have with it. So would you like to aim the camera back down? And
sure.
I'm going to go find in my possession right now, someone gave me a box of Blackwing pencils, and I've never ever used them.
Oh, so nice! Yeah, I love mine.
This will be a first.
They're really cool. I don't know if I'm going to get this to work. There we go. Good. Let's see. Yeah, this is the only thing I use pencils for, is notes and books.
Well, I could not find my marginalia book, unfortunately, but it's here somewhere. And so that's what you're doing. Marks and books are marginalia, is the fancy word. So here's my Blackwing. What I like about these pencils, I do like the fact that these erasers can be repositioned. So you use every little tiny bit of it. And because they're square and not round, you can be very careful with your erasures. So as much as you probably don't want one of these, I'm going to put it in here. So cover your ears. Okay, come on out. But let's say that this point wasn't sharp enough. Do you have one of these?
No, this is the only thing I have.
Okay, well, this is what architects and designers use to keep the very, very point really, really pointed. Except I don't know if it did it here. But what happens is, I'll show you how it works. This you find this in drafting supplies. So it has this inner inner gritty surface, and as you go around, it completely makes your pencil dirty.
Right.
But it makes a sharp point, so you can just keep on putting this thing in there and doing it. But I've never used one of these before either, so this is new for both this pencil and that contraption. See what you're doing to me? Let's try.
Only the best.
Let's try some marginalia.
Totally.
So you have. I'll just open a book.
Yeah.
I have lots of books, but I don't read them. They're all pictures. Pictures. So let's just say that I was reading this book and I wanted to make a marginalia. So I would come over here and I'd say, that's a good point. Question, exclamation point.
Right.
I'd underline something and so you're commenting to yourself and to the author probably as you're doing this, right?
Right. I take two kinds of notes.
Okay.
One kind of note is kind of like just like summarizing what's there.
Yeah.
For me, and the other is connecting, like if I remember something else that happened 20 pages before, or if I remember something that happens in a different book.
Okay.
I'll make that note, and at the bottom of it, let's see if I can find one. I'll write. Bullet journalists call it threading.
Okay.
I'll write like C page 41.
Okay.
And then I go back to page 41. All right, C page 68.
Okay.
So I can get back and forth.
Well, I'm very happy for you.
I read a lot of nonfiction, and so connecting
factoids with factoids is great. For reading fiction, I somehow maybe would be less inclined to question in the way you're doing, because you're dealing with factoids and theories and stuff rather than poems and feelings.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. So
the other part is going to be your least favorite.
Yes, using one of these things.
Usually when I use the notes in a book,
yeah,
it's months or years later.
Okay.
So it's not like the next week or what have you.
Yeah.
So the whole the system I've kind of figured out for myself is all about making these searchable.
Okay.
And it's the only thing I write with pencil because I'm constantly erasing, scratching, and I don't like ink on the like cheap recycled book paper. It bleeds through and what have you. And the sharp point, I'm constantly resharpening this thing.
Okay.
I can pack a lot into the end. Like this little margin.
Yeah.
So I do a gray highlighter for a point the author thinks is important.
Okay.
Like a point that's like legitimately intended to be important, and then all the blue or anything that I find interesting. That way, I can kind of separate out for myself what I thought was important.
Well, you have
from what was intended.
You have such a great is the word taxonomy, toxicology. What's the word where you divide things up into categories?
Taxonomy. Yeah.
Taxonomy. You have a logical reason for doing what you're doing, and using this color for that, this kind of nib on your pen for that. But I like the fact that so always the pen is pointed. You never think that I need to write this with a dull pencil.
Yeah, well, I write so small that once it gets dull, all the letters blur together, and it just kind of becomes drawing.
Well, in my drawing, I like pencils to be fat, and I like them sharp too. But I like the full range that you get. but I could see for making marginalia, doing that would be good. So let's pretend for a second your pencil needs sharpening. Let's see this. What it is that is it the sound? Is it the See, I've got almost the same thing, except I only have the one size point.
Yeah. Truth be told,
yeah.
Bought this. I really only use this one.
Yeah. You don't need the other one. The other one is for bigger, fatter pencils. But they also have, I mean, you can get, I think there are pencil sharpeners where it will sharpen either like that kind of a point or this kind of a point. You know, it'll carve differently. So, but I think in your case, you're just getting that's the only one that you can use your pencil in.
Right. Yeah. Generally, the sharper the point, the happier I am.
Okay.
And
well,
so
you might want to think about getting one of these things, because these are what the architects use to keep their points extra sharp. But
what is that thing called?
It's called I don't know what it's called. Architect's pencil lead sharpener, I guess, maybe, or something. I'll find out what it's called. Or Architects pencil sharpener, PENER. And of course, architects don't use pencil sharpeners anymore. Well, so far I'm not finding a picture of any of these things.
See, I'm fascinated by the comments.
Yeah.
Just working from the bottom up, so I guess not chronologically.
Yeah.
The mechanical pencils I totally get, 100% get. I had a mechanical. I think I still have a mechanical pencil somewhere. I had that for years and years and years, and I got onto the wood pencils only recently, so I'm still very much learning. Let's see if I can. I think I have a mechanical pencil.
So, vintage Dietzen Sharp Point mechanical pencil pointer. Draftsman's engineers buy it now, $40 or best offer. So it is called, I think they are used for mechanical pencils. So a mechanical pencil that they're talking about is one of these grippy pencils that have a very strong lead in them that's thicker than you normally would find in a pencil. It would be this thick. And then that's what they use for that thing. So did you sharpen your pencil? Yeah,
I did. I think I'll be good for maybe 2 or 3 notes, and then I'll have to go at it again.
Then you have to go at it again. I have a couple of pencil sharpeners. I find there's and I couldn't find them on me, but so you're the kind of person that turns the pencil rather than the sharpener.
Yes.
Where there was one thing that I saw that looked like you turned the sharpener rather than the pencil, which I think is an abomination, but I don't know where that is. This one I like because it has its garbage can connected to it, you see. So I don't have to pollute my otherwise spotlessly clean house. Of course, I
sacrificed a ramekin to the pencil gods.
Okay, well, good. And there is something very nice about
sharpen over that.
I do like when you can get a good long string of that balsa wood coming, or whatever it is, maple, oak, pine, whatever they're made of, sliding out I think that that's quite fun. Um, it's a pencil pointer. So I have to show you a few things that I have here, just because you were talking about you have a bunch of leads that you don't know what you.
Yeah, I have a whole container of .9 leads.
Okay. I have a feeling that they would fit most, maybe, I think most old vintage fountain pen sets that have pencils can hold the 1.1
Mhm.
fine, not the 0.9, but there's some that hold the 0.9. So
Okay.
I've got lots of pencils. So I'll have to send you some if you'd like to. This one I like, property of Northern States Power Company, and this would have the red pencil here, and
Oh,
or the
cool.
black pencil here, and this would have the red lead here for doing your other kind of accounting. This one,
Cool.
uh, this one has, there's two different lead types that you want to put in this one, I guess. Two H and then just H. So someone that needs a softer pencil would, put certain lead in one end or the other. But one of the things I wanted to show you, what am I supposed to call you again? What initials? MT, TM,
Oh, JP works.
JP? Okay.
Yeah.
JP, sorry. I
It's
bought
all good.
I bought this pencil once upon a time, and it has this little hole in the back. And I thought, oh goddamn, it's supposed to have a little ring on the top so I could hang it from my watch
Okay.
chain or something. And then I was saddened, of course, when that happened, because otherwise it's a beautiful sterling pencil from 1902 or something. And then I found another one, and it also was missing its ring, and I thought that sucks. But then I found out, look what I discovered. Look what I discovered. This is a pencil sharpener.
No.
Yes.
Faber-Castell charges a lot of money to be able to do that.
You just do that and you're done. And then
Oh,
there's
cool.
extra leads down here that you can put in. This is the threaded washer that holds them all together.
Nice
And
pen.
pencil.
Hmm.
Yeah. But I have to show you, I did bring one of these out thinking that maybe one of these days you should, because of the way you function in your brain. This is a Nardi pencil. So there it is, deployed, and you write with it. And then you click this, and then you rotate it and push down, and you've got another color.
Oh, cool. It's multi-pencil.
It's a 3-color pencil: blue, black, or standard gray, and red. So
I love that because I work with this color-coded system. It
yes, I
works
know.
for me cognitively.
Now,
That's great. That's a great suggestion.
how many do you how many do you use generally in a given book? Or
A book this size, like this is a new history of Frank Kameny. This is, what is it? Probably like 400 pages or so. I'd probably go through a pencil and a half.
yeah, but how many colors do you
So
use? You said you use a color-coded system.
right. It's usually just 2 colors.
Okay.
One for what I'm thinking is important.
Okay.
So yeah, so I don't. Sometimes I'll swap like highlighter colors.
Okay. Yeah. So
But it's
pencil
usually
like
just the accent. I'm a sucker for the gray.
okay. I'm
The
gray.
gray
I mean,
highlighter.
it's this yellow, this garish yellow thing that I just never understood. But a pencil like this, you might find valuable. You don't get to sharpen it the way you sharpen the other one, but the fact that you've got 2 different colors in one little thing, you can easily underline something in one color or another.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, I love that.
I also told you that I have a pencil sharpener with an app.
You did, yeah. We were nerding out about that a little bit yesterday.
This was given to me 2 days ago by one of my neighbors. I think it actually has 2 apps. Well, 3 apps it actually has. So it has a pencil sharpener, multiplication table, ruler in inches and in centimeters. And the last app that it has, I don't think is intentional, but I think if I were to cut myself with that blade, I would have tetanus. So it's also a tetanus provider. So
we'll go with provider. Yeah.
Yeah. So anytime you need lockjaw, you can sharpen your pencil badly. And but anyway, I thought it was funny.
It's a clever idea. Yeah.
So I know that I've been promising to do this, but I am going to do this. I'm going to send you some pens that you can play with and maybe a couple of pencils.
Cheers.
And you're under no obligation to buy them, but if you don't want them, you can send them back, if that's okay.
Cheers.
I just think that you don't have any vintage pens yet, do you?
I have a couple Estabrooks.
Okay.
And I have a Parker Vac that I just haven't gotten around to sending out for repair. Yeah.
Okay. I think that, and what kind of, you like these weird, you write, can you show us what your writing is like? Because it's very,
totally.
It's very fascinating, I think. It's so neat and tidy, and your brain must be completely. Let's
see if I can pull this out.
The lines are vertical and horizontal, and there's this very nice regularity to the lettering. It just really shows me that you're a tidy person, and your thoughts your thoughts are always pure.
I don't know about that last part, but I try to clean up after myself.
Yeah. Do you have one that shows the 2 different kinds of ink? You posted one on the other day.
I do.
With your orange and your blue, I think.
Let's see if I can get this.
Okay,
I've got some orange and some green right there.
Yeah.
I've really been digging the shading on this ink.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's really cool. I've got a lovely blue, which is way thicker than thicker of a line than I usually write with. I'm an extra fine. I'm home at extra fine.
Okay.
And this is a 1.1 step.
Well, none of those are extra fine.
Correct.
In my book,
Correct.
In my book, extra fine is you can get 20 lines in one line of your thing.
Right. This is an extra fine nib, but on this paper, the lines are a little thicker. Yeah.
Okay. I recently discovered, as I was looking for the book on marginalia, I found something that I'll be right back to show it to you.
Sure. See, I'm going through the comments. Melissa and Miss Marilyn are awesome. Like, you all like searching up. I'm talking like my students. You're searching for what we're talking. That's awesome. There was a comment about it was like using like a wider pencil. Where is it? Do. The color-coded system, med school book. Yeah, I'd love to hear more or see how that color-coded system works. I'm always looking for new tricks based on what other people have learned. I saw some scratchings.
This is a book that I'm always looking for blank or partially filled books that I can do drawings in, and I don't know. Christopher Godfrey. So these are people writing at a pen show, I think. But the original author of this book is right here. This is his writing. It's pretty nice, vertical.
Yeah.
Printing. It's very, he connects his E's and R's and expected. Anyway, he thinks that his art is greater than other people think. He also thinks that he is God's gift to female kind.
Okay.
And he's kind of a jerk. But as I was looking through this and reading what it said, I found, and this was in 1970. I don't know when it was. 71. So he talks about going, flower child's forcing her blossoms on some poor slob of a policeman, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, he says, a new fountain pen, an Esterbrook. I resolved at first to give it to Dick, but when I cleaned it, I realized I wanted it for myself. And I've never seen, other than in the Boston College archives, there's a letter of George Bernard Shaw's that he wrote to someone, and he said a couple of sentences. Then he said, to answer your question, this is what I have on my desk now. And he writes, this is a Waterman that I use for fancy writing. This is a Swan that I use with red ink. And he just lists the pens that he uses. And then he sends
I love it.
He ends the letter. So other than that one thing, this is a guy who has, the only person I know of other than Shaw that wrote in his diary about a pen. And I was thinking, what would have happened when you got your first fountain pen? Did you commit a little note in your diary if you had one?
So, that's an interesting piece of this. I got my first fountain pen before I was journaling regularly. Okay. And over the next year or so, I found my way into these really cool, welcoming, you're part of it, like these stationary appreciators communities. And that's how I found my way into journaling, from people talking about journaling. Okay, and once I got over the false assumption that my entries had to look a certain way or had to be about a certain thing, that's when I kind of got into it. Now I do end, to answer your question, I do end entries with a list of
the pen you wrote. Oh, okay.
The pen and the ink.
Okay.
Because I can't remember what was in it.
Okay.
And I usually end with a poem too.
Oh, of course you do.
Yeah.
No, of course.
They're not poems that I'm writing, but it's
a poem
whatever speaks to me at that day.
Oh, good. Shall we tell the people that you're a instructor, a professor, a educator? What's the word we want to use? Teacher?
Sure. Yeah, teacher, educator. Okay. Those two work for sure. I'm a history teacher, and I teach research methods. Okay,
cool. Did you see that thing I sent you? I think I sent you the link to that guy Finkel, his diary collection he's doing in London.
Yes.
Isn't he a nut?
Well, look, I'm fascinated. It's like a way into someone else's head. One of my favorite books that I finished recently, I had never read Dracula, the old Bram Stoker.
Yeah.
And the way that's told in letters and diary entries, I'd read it. I get about 30 minutes in, I want to write my journal. So that book took me so long to finish, just because I kept
on
going back to my journal.
What was her name?
Mina.
Mima. Dearest Mima, this castle is frightening. The count. And you haven't started Tristram Shandy yet.
I have not. I just picked up Brandon Sanderson's Rhythm of War.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to wrap that up. I did want to.
I have to read a book one day. It's been ages and ages and ages.
Oh, I love it. It's a great way to end the night.
Irving Finkel, yes. I'm going to change the camera to my pretty face for a second.
Oh yeah, sure. I can join you.
You can deal with that. The lighting is horrible here, but this is what I look like today. I'm thinking that. Well, first of all, thank you very much for participating
Cheers.
in this thing. I want to. So I'm going to text you and sort of suggest these are some pens I'd like you to try, and I'll try to come up with a couple of interesting ones that I think you might enjoy, and then I might have a couple of pencils too that you might like to put those leads in. Does anyone else want to join us, or this is actually way past my bedtime? I usually am asleep in bed at 8 and I fall asleep at about 9. So I think
Thank you for staying up on my account.
Oh no, it was my pleasure. I've been looking forward to doing this for a while. But what I'd like to do maybe some other time with you is maybe when I can come up with a couple of other journal people. Marilyn wants to come. Marilyn is a journalist. Oh yeah, that's right. You wanted to show the books.
I wanted to show you my stubby. That's a Noir.
Magic. I love it.
Yeah, it's a magic pencil. It's supposed to look like.
My pencil is stubbier than yours. This is a little tiny pencil that I found in someone's. It's like hardly anything.
Started out like this.
Oh, cool. Okay.
It's called a Noir magic pencil.
Yeah.
And it's the thing that I use to make some of my calligraphy with.
Oh, that's pretty.
Yeah.
So the core is multicolored.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's got like a whole bunch of different colors and they're arranged in a certain pattern. It's very interesting. You were talking about sharpeners. This thing has been a lifesaver.
What is it? The Mega?
So much that the name has got rubbed off.
Do you remember what the name was? Like, I'm looking for recommendations.
It's called Made in Germany. No, it's I don't know. I'll have to I know where I can get it though, so I will let you know.
Oh, cheers!
It looks
the place that I go to, they have everything. I mean everything. And this place is massive. It's like walking into IKEA, but with art supplies.
Okay.
And so, like, they have an entire wall of just sharpeners. I spent like 2 hours in there just looking at sharpeners because I couldn't find one for this thing.
I can't believe that. I want to go. Do they serve Swedish meatballs like they do at IKEA?
They might. I know there's a bar like 5 feet from the door, so it wouldn't surprise me if they did. But I like using pencils. I don't think I've ever shown you guys some of the art that I do. I haven't. Oops, I gotta turn my internet on there. But I have. I like to do art every now and then. It's lots of fun.
Someone said, "Create a color." Create a color.
Create a color.
Create a color is.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
See, I like the art.
Happy rainbows. Oh, little animal. Cool.
Nice.
I love Friedrich.
I did this for Christmas. And then I have like shooting stars.
All right. Emerald of Chauvoir. Nice.
I did that one. Yeah, I don't art too much, but I like to art every now and then. That one was done with pencil. So, yeah, those are my pencil arts.
I want to show
But I
you.
haven't done art.
Yeah. All right.
I'm going to show you one other pencil sharpener if I can.
Yeah. I looked and looked and looked. I went to I bought some off of Amazon, and they were too small for the Koh-i-Noor, for the magic pencil.
Right.
And I found some that fit this, the regular crayon pencils, and other pencils, but they wouldn't fit this. They were too small, and this one's just perfect. So if you're into bigger pencils, I like bigger pencils. I have several of these Koh-i-Noor things. I have a red, white, and blue one.
Look at.
I have a
swing line.
What is that?
This is a pencil sharpener that's so cool.
I'll pull it back a little bit. Oh, there. Oh, wow. There you go.
That's electric.
It's
That's
electric.
Nice.
And it has this very complicated dial that can do many things. It's the little drawer fell out and it's on somewhere on my floor, but it's really a beautiful design. And this goes with this is another thing when we get people that are interested in masking tape, I'm all over that. This is my big inch.
Oh my God.
Masking tape dispenser, and it weighs a ton, as you
What?
can. And you put the masking tape in here, and you lift up on this thing, and you let that down. It fell on the floor and it bends a little bit, but you normally would do this. That would come down, and then you'd have 1 inch length of masking tape.
Wow. Okay.
And you could set it to be a 1/2 inch as well. But it's I just love it. How to use the big inch. Because, but I love the fact that it weighs more than my car did. This weighs more than your bicycle.
Oh, I believe it. It looks heavier than my bicycle.
So when someone is interested in masking tape, I've got it all. I have to be their guest star.
I have lots of washi tape, not necessarily masking tape, but I have an entire bucket of that.
Okay, tape of various types. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
washi tape is definitely in my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Who's ODE, by the way?
I don't know. I'm
not familiar, but helpful information with the name of the sharpener.
I was around next to bedtime, decided to watch the video. Well, I hope we don't give you nightmares.
Yes, well, I will figure out the name of this. It's a really good sharpener.
No, he said it was Create a Color is the name of the sharpener.
Create a Color. Oh, is that what it's called?
Okay, so we have that.
Right.
Anyway, well, thank you very much, PJ, or what I forget what your initials are. JP, and because I know you didn't want to tell me your real name because you didn't want to.
Reason.
So, and minimal scholar, I know what that means, but anyway, Otis Paulo from Portugal. Oh, good, nice. Well, hello, Paulo from Portugal. So anyway, it's time for me to head off. So thank you very much. We'll do this
Thanks
again.
for chatting. Yeah, I look forward to it.
I'm going to try to think of other journal people specifically. And your journaling is so ordered and exact that makes me.
Mine is unreadable.
Yours is unreadable. Yes.
I try and make it as unreadable as possible, just in case people go spying in my things and then they can't read it.
No. Well, think of how those biographers are going to have so much fun with your life story.
That'd be great. I could just see the look on their faces now.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to turn my head around this way. So. I can never remember everyone say goodbye. 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 Goodbye.
Good night.
Good night. See you tomorrow.